Today, finally doing it after a couple years, modding this bike, testing the upgrades, installing parts on camera, basically rebuilding the CB1000R piece by piece. This is the complete breakdown of every mod that I've done so far on this bike. So this is going to cover everything from performance to handling to lighting, protection, ergonomics, literally the full build history and the total cost. So if you're thinking about modding the CB1000R, this is the only video that you'll need. Let's go ahead and jump into it. So first up is going to be a must-have upgrade, and this was a recent addition. I'm talking about steering dampener. I said it in the video and I say it again, this is a must-have. Before the dampener, high speeds, hard accelerations, the bars felt like they were too light, guys. They were vibrating a lot more than they are now, and you could feel that slight wiggle when the front end got on the way. Well, after installing the damper, this is a lot more rock solid, more stable, more confidence in the corners, smoother accelerations. The whole bike feels more planted, and if you're going to do one handling mod for this bike, this should be it. Definitely recommend getting a steering dampener. But let's jump into the performance mods, and we'll start with the full exhaust. So if you guys remember when I first got the bike, we had the big exhaust on the back. We had it was quiet as a mouse, and I know that it had to change. So full exhaust system is way lighter. I believe I saved 17 or 18 pounds. Better airflow, and honestly, the stock exhaust was holding the bike back. Not just the power, but also the aggression. The new system opened it up and gave it that aggressive CB1000R sound that I've grown to love. Now on the exhaust, I do have the full Black Widow exhaust. I also have the LeoVince end can, but on the end can, of course, it came with a mesh, so I had to remove that. I do like the look a lot better, but let me know in the comment section if that makes a difference for you. Another mod for performance, of course, is the K&N high performance air filter. Now this is a simple mod, big impact, better airflow, reusable. That means you can take it out, you can clean it, put it back in, and pairs perfectly with the ECU tune, which we're going to talk about right now. I did get this ECU flash and dyno tune. Now shout out to the guys at Rhino Motorsports. Of course, I'll leave their information in the description, but I believe mine was one of the first bikes that they've done, because they've since cloned the settings for my bike, and now what you can do, you can essentially mail in your ECU to Rhino Motorsports and they'll go ahead and flash it for you. So this one tied the whole setup together with the full exhaust, air filter installed, the ECU tune smoothed out the throttle response, eliminated that annoying factory jerkiness and that dead spot in second gear, and added real horsepower. And of course, my dyno results spoke for itself. The bike pulls harder across the whole RPM range now that it wasn't doing before. So here's a quick look at the dyno results. Again, this is a naked bike. This is the detuned Fireblade engines. Of course, it's not going to be as aggressive as the sports bike, but this made a difference in my opinion. And also, it sounds really good, and here's what it sounds like. Now let's talk about the chassis and handling. Of course, the suspension adjustment. This is something that I really had to do, and I didn't really notice how much I needed this until someone pointed out in one of my videos that, hey, when you sit on that bike, it kind of goes down a lot. How much do you weigh? So I started looking into it. I went down a rabbit's hole, did some research on it. And of course, the suspension was not dialed in for someone of my size. So I'm 6 feet tall, 230 pounds. And I believe the suspension was dialed in for someone that's 176 pounds. So basically I had to go through, do some research, and just max it all in. I did a full video on that where you can go ahead and check it out. This didn't require any aftermarket part, but the difference of spending time just adjusting the preload, the rebound, as well as compression was really huge. The bike handles more predictably, it feels more balanced, and it doesn't dive under braking like it used to. So definitely recommend doing that as well, especially if you're someone who's heavier like I am. Let's talk about some of the visual mods. First, integrated taillight. I did remove the old taillight, the whole blinkers from the setup. I did put in an integrated light, which I did a video on, I believe, and I'll go ahead and link it, of course. But this integration just makes it look really clean, guys. turning signals are still visible, your four-way flashes are still visible. These are bright LEDs, and it just makes the back end of the bike look more beautiful. Next is the mustard tail tidy kit. So this is one of my favorite cosmetic mods. The stock fender, I don't know why Honda did that, but it was this big metal arm that swung around the back of the wheel for your license plate, and that weighed a ton. So glad to remove that, get some weight savings as well. But also must have made a really good kit where I can go ahead and tie this in. It did take some work. I would say it took about 4 hours. You do have to remove a lot of parts. Also, you do have to do some rewiring. But after that was all said and done, it looked really good, and it really changed the look of the bike. After that was said and done, I did do one more modification, and that's adding hinges, and that allows me to fold the license plate in and out. Now, reason I'm doing it, it's probably not the reason other folks are doing it. I'm doing it because when I make content, it's hard to go back and post and blur out the license plate, or it's hard to take the license plate off and put it back on. It's just a lot more work, but the ability to fold it on there just makes everything a lot more quicker. So that's the reason I'm doing it. On to the third thing that also set this bike off is the engine cover slash spoiler. Now this was from SW Motec, and this, I believe, made the bike look more aggressive, and it's just overall a good look. But what I did additionally, there was a gap on the top that I did not like that exposed the exhaust, and I went ahead and I was able to retrofit piece of mesh to kind of go with it all, and now bike looks beautifully. Like I said, this is one mod that I haven't seen anyone else do on their CB1000R, but I think that sets it off. It just makes it look a lot better. Let's jump into some of the protection mods. These mods are not going to boost your horsepower, but they are going to protect your investment, and trust me, if the bike tips over, you'll be glad that you have them. So first is going to be the frame slider. Now these are slim, clean, they're easy to install. These take 10 minutes or so to install, but they give you peace of mind that if you were to drop your bike, you're still covered. I believe these are from SW Motec as well, but of course I'll link all those videos in the description where you can go ahead and check them out. Also install the radiator guard, just a piece of mesh that protects the radiator. As you guys know, these radiators, they come exposed, and all it takes is a piece of rock or debris on the ground, and boom, you're overheating and you're stuck on the side of the road. So that was definitely a must-have for me as well. As far as the ergonomics, I did add in bar end mirrors. The original mirrors were there. They did about as good a job that stock mirrors will do, so did remove those. I put in bar end mirrors. These are actually polished aluminum, so they're not really glass, which makes them more durable. For me at least, it gave me more vision of what's going on behind me. Additionally, I did add the Atlas throttle lock. So this is one of those mods that you either love or you hate. So for me, it does give you some relief. So if you're on long trips, you can just stick it. It's not true cruise control, as in when you hit the brakes, it's not going to disable the throttle lock, but at least it gives you some relief, especially if you're on long trips. I think these come in really handy, and I'll go ahead and link those videos as well. Of course, we have the tank pads that I put on. Those are pretty easy to get. I do have a new windshield, if you want to call it that, so facelift for the CB1000R. Looks really good. Also added a trickle charger port on the back end, so that keeps my battery healthy all year. Also added wheel stickers. This adds a better look to the wheels in my opinion, but also they are reflective, so it could be tied into safety as well. So some miscellaneous there. As I said, I'll link all of those mods in the description. So let's go ahead and we'll wrap this up with a final checklist as well as the cost. For labor costs, I did 90% of the labor by myself, so not count the dyno tune, which was $500 I believe. I think everything else was done by me in the garage. So cost of labor, I'll just put it at $500, assuming that you'll do most of the work yourself. So there you have it, guys. I think I'm in a good spot where not a lot of changes are going to happen. I do have the bike where I want it, as far as looks, as far as performance, as far as sound. But let me know in the comment section where you are with your CB1000R, which mods are you thinking about doing, and which ones you think you're going to avoid. Of course, if you're new to the channel, subscribe, smash the notification bell. Thank you for watching. I'll catch you on the next one.